Chloe Melas joins us. You can see Chloe all the time on the Today Show and, of course, all your NBC platforms. And Andrea, as a fellow Greek, you and Chloe probably speak your own language.
All the time. All the time.
Yasu, Chicani.
Kala, Afghanisto, Kronia Pola.
See, I wasn't kidding.
We're going to do our own little segment here after.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some really cool news that's really, frankly, personal, but it falls in your area of coverage as well, covering everything in entertainment. But let's start with the Golden Globes this weekend, yeah?
Oh, I will be there. I'm going to be flying from New York to LA this weekend. I was at the Globes last year, but this will be my first time going to the Globes for NBC News. I'll be sitting inside, and let's be honest, I am focused on the food. I want to know what we're eating, and I cannot wait to eat the food at the Globes this weekend. That's what I'm focused on.
That's awesome. Chloe, I'm seeing you everywhere. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy you're covering the Globes. That's my favorite award show for that reason, because it's a little bit of a free-for-all. You never know who's going to drink too much.
It's your favorite. It's your favorite because it's sometimes the most offensive.
Yeah, it is true. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to show up or not show up, make a speech and say something that maybe they shouldn't.
Well, they haven't changed the rules. You can still drink during the show, yes?
Oh, that's all I saw on my table last year were bottles of alcohol. And I was wondering, where's the food? But they're really touting this exciting meal this year, and there's sushi. So we'll see.
I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of hype for Barbie. I know just because obviously one of the highest grossing movies of the year. And it usually the winner goes to, the more serious movie or a Scorsese movie. But I think you're going to see a lot of hype from Barbie this year. Are you seeing that too?
I mean, I think that Barbie, a huge hit this year at the box office. Oppenheimer as well. Together grossing over $1 billion, more than $1 billion worldwide. I think that we'll see something interesting there, especially when it comes to Greta Gerwig. Potentially for director. But there are a lot of movies like Killers of the Flower Moon with Leonardo DiCaprio. Yep. That movie is getting a lot of buzz. I saw it recently. There are just a lot of movies to watch and get caught up on. And then also TV shows like Succession, one of my favorite shows ever. I think that'll sweep on the TV side of things.
Right.
And also, I think that just in general, people are excited to go to an award show because they've been on strike for months. And this is the first big show since the strikes ended. Because remember, the Emmys, they were pushed.
Yeah, so this could be even looser than normal. Hold on to something, kids.
This could be a wild night. It's actually going to be hosted by Joe Coy. Joe Coy is hilarious. He's a comedian. He dated Chelsea Handler for years. And that's kind of how I first came to know him on Chelsea Handler's Instagram. So I think this is going to be really, really fun. And it's always a who's who. And especially I'll be in there. So I'll be in the bathroom next to Nicole Kidman or something.
Sure.
So I'll be snapping pictures. So you better follow along on my Instagram.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I would just say pause before you snap pictures of Nicole Kidman in the bathroom. That's just my
This is true.
pro tip. That's my pro tip. Look, as part of your and you have another red carpet that's really cool. We're going to tell you about that in a second. But as part of your job, you have to cover fun stories, but tough stories as well. And, when we're doing the show and I look up and I see you, I always smile when I see you. But you were talking about the Bruce Willis story this week.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a very tough story to talk about and what the family's going through.
Yeah, two of his daughters that he shares with Demi Moore, Tallulah and Scout, they posted these never-before-seen images of themselves with their dad around New Year's. And I don't know when the photos were actually taken, but, his wife, Emma Hemming, he's been married to her for about 12 years or so, together for 16. She's been on the Today Show. She's talked about how tough the last 2 years have been since they came forward with his frontal temporal FTD diagnosis, which basically is an aggressive form of dementia. He can't really communicate anymore. They're not sure if he really understands things. It's unclear, right, what the timeline is for Bruce and his condition. At one point, we know that the entire family was living under one roof. That includes Emma, his children with Emma, his children with Demi and Demi Moore, So it's been a really, really rough 2 years for them.
Chloe, you got to tell the story of your grandfather. Your grandfather is this amazing guy, and he was, frankly, a war hero of the highest order, and didn't finish a book about writing about that time that he wanted to, and you were inspired to help get that done. That leads to a movie, a couple of struggling filmmakers, Spielberg and Hanks, you might have heard of them, have created a series that's going to be on Apple TV Plus. That's a red carpet piece of this story. But I want to back it up a little bit. Tell people the name of the book. Tell us a little bit about your grandfather, and tell the story about searching for photos.
Well, thank you for teeing me up so perfectly. So it's called Luck of the Draw, and it was something that my grandfather wrote for our family before he died in the late 90s. And a few years ago, when I knew that Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg were going to be doing this TV show that my grandfather was going to be featured in called Masters of the Air, it comes out at the end of this month on Apple, I knew that I wanted to publish this book. And it was a multi-year undertaking. And it came out last year in February, and it became a New York Times bestseller. And I can't believe it. And it's crazy and amazing. And I wrote the foreword to the book with my mom. And this premiere is next week in Los Angeles. I'll be out there. It stars Austin Butler. You remember him from Elvis.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be out there with my mom in LA, another reason to go to LA. And I'm so excited. And my grandmother is still alive. And although she can't go, she is just so excited. And the whole family is thrilled. But yeah, when I was trying to put this book together, my grandfather had written this book and printed it on his own. It was not on a computer. It was done on a typewriter and a word processor. So there was no digital version of the book, which meant that all the black and white photos that were scanned onto those pages, where were they? So I was looking through the attic. I was looking through storage units, and I flew down to Atlanta from New York, and I took the weekend off, took a day off work, and I'm looking around. And my grandmother, who is in a wheelchair, she's sitting in the living room, and I said, I can't find these photos anywhere. And she said in her Southern voice, did you check the guest room? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she said, did you check the guest room? And I go into the guest room, and on the desk, and I swear to God, there was a ray of light coming in from the sunlight, coming in from the windows. There was a box that said photos for Luck of the Draw.
Oh, my God.
And I opened it, and there were all the photos. And I was like happy, but so pissed.
Of course.
I had to send I'm like, are you kidding me? Did you not realize why I came into town?
Crawling through the attic, looking every corner, and it says on the box, here's what you look for.
That's great.
Exactly. So I hope my grandfather, I know he'd be so proud and so overwhelmed. And I'm just so happy that some of the World War II veterans are alive, and they're going to be at the premiere.
Wow.
One of them is John
cool.
Lucky Luckadoo. He's 101. He's going to be at the premiere. So keep your eyes out when you see photos
That's
of him.
amazing. That is amazing.
So cool.
I mean, you're talking about 100-year-old heroes here. That's crazy.
101.
Yeah.
101. And he's flying on a plane, and he walks. And
that's amazing.
He's great. I hope to look like him when I'm 101.
He's gonna give it the full review and the full critique afterward, Chloe.
He'll tell you what he
so
thinks.
you know.
By the way, Luck of the
That's
Draw
awesome.
is a terrific book. I've told you that before, but let me just say it out loud again, and I hope you get a chance to read it. So Spielberg and Hanks doing Masters of the Air on Apple TV Plus. Premiere, as you said, coming up. You'll be on the red carpet covering it for today, NBC News, and everything NBC. And, we can't wait to see it. And I hope you're really proud of it. You should be.
Yeah, I am. It's emotional. It's been 12 years in the making. So many people worked on it, from Tom Hanks' production company, Playtone. These actors work so hard. And then the head writer, John Orloff, who's a dear friend of mine, he toiled away for a decade on this. And so these people have become like family, and I'm excited. And it's this weird beautiful moment in my life, because I'm an entertainment reporter, and these are people that I interview, and these are the types of events that I cover. And this time I'm going to be a part of it. So it's a weirdly beautiful kind of shooting star moment. And I'm just happy that I'm healthy and able to go and just be there and enjoy it.
Cool.
Be on your own red carpet.
I know.
As you should. How cool is that? Congratulations.
It's Chloe Melas giving us a whole bunch of time, and we appreciate it. Where can we follow all of Chloe's work, Andrea?
NBC's Today Show, NBC Nightly News, and, of course, NBCnews.com.
Yeah, she is
nice.
I don't know.
Awesome.
She always makes you feel better when you talk to her.
She sure
Regardless
does.
of what she's talking about.
And she, again, great reporter. And how about that? Her own red carpet next week.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Well, to be able to take what your grandfather wanted to do and to turn it into something that turns into part of a movie produced by Spielberg and Tom Hanks, that's a pretty cool thing to do for your grandfather.
And with her grandma in attendance next week.
Yeah, it's nice.
Cool.
Very nice. Anyway, we love Chloe Melas. Today's show and every place else NBC needs her, she's there.